Earlier this morning, though, part of this rock wall over here gave way that allowed a lot of water and mud to flow down across the roadway. And if you take a look over here, you can see the remnants of that mudslide from earlier this morning. Crews got to work right away to clean up the muddy mess. Chattanooga's VW plant is pretty much the only major VW facility in the world that does not operate under a works council. Take a look. It's one of the hardest hit units. Huge hole in the ceiling from where these water pipes broke, causing the ceiling to cave in. You have drywall and insulation all over the floor. You have ruined electronics. We know that Governor Nathan Deal has declared a state of emergency for the entire state of Georgia because of this winter weather mess. Second year for this event, a major accomplishment for Chattanooga. I had a chance to talk with race organizers earlier this week. They took some notes after last year's event, made the course even tougher. We're here at the Carter campaign. We are fully anticipating Georgia's state Senator Jason Carter to be taking the stage momentarily to give his concession speech. Well, coming up on Eyewitness News at 6, you'll hear the emotional plea from her family that was in the courtroom today about Mim's innocence. Reporting live at the Whitfield County Courthouse this evening, Matt Barbour, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
As the home on Hauser Street burned, neighbors immediately ran to try and help the family. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Matt Barbour spoke with a man who tried to save the mother and father from that fire. Matt continues our team coverage now.
Yeah, that's right, David. It was a very emotional scene today in that neighborhood on Hauser Street. The neighbors there tell me that they're very close. They knew this family very well. And a man says as soon as he saw that smoke and the flames, he ran to that house and tried his very best to try to rescue both of those parents. Intense flames consumed this home on Hauser Street Wednesday morning. Neighbors knew a family of 5 could possibly be trapped inside. One man tells Channel 3 he ran to the house and tried his best to pull the father from a window.
We seen him hanging his head out the window, and we jumped up there and tried to pull him out. Tried 3 times, and he's just too big, man. We couldn't pull him through the window. We heard his wife screaming behind him, but, you know, there's nothing you could do.
Firefighters were able to pull the mother and father from the burning home, performing CPR on the mother until an ambulance arrived.
One of the little girls got burned on her leg a little bit, but she was saying she was okay, but they took her to be checked out.
Channel 3 was there as paramedics loaded 2 of the 3 children in the back of an ambulance. All 3 managed to escape the flames and run to their grandparents' house for help.
I think Mark, the little boy, was in shock because he just didn't say anything, and the girls were just crying.
Neighbor Judy Sanders says her heart aches for the family.
I'll just be praying for them. It's a sad situation. I'm thankful that the children got out. This is just so sad.
Nina Bond knows the family as well and says she can't imagine what they're going through.
It just breaks your heart. But they have good grandparents, and they'll be taken care of.
She says she's praying hard.
We just have to be strong, and we have to ask for God's help.
We love them, and we'll support them in any way we can.
And that's exactly what their neighbors and friends are doing this evening, surrounding that family with prayer. Again, we've since learned that 35-year-old Candy Lockhart passed away from her injuries. Randall airlifted to a burn unit with critical injuries. 2 of those children who were sent to the hospital this afternoon expected to be released, and they'll be staying with their grandparents tonight. Reporting live at Erlanger, I'm Matt Barbour, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
It's been 2 months since a Bledsoe County couple lost 2 of their young children in a drowning accident. Jonathan and Monique Einwechter had just moved to her parents' farm from Pennsylvania. The SUV Monique was driving flipped into a pond on the property.
Their 3-year-old daughter and 5-week-old son didn't survive, and for the first time they share more of what happened with Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Matt Barbour, who joins us with this Only on 3 report. Matt?
Well, David, Jonathan and Monique Einwechter and their 4 children hadn't even been on her parents' farm 24 hours when this accident happened. They say even though it's been 2 months, the events of that February night are still clear in their minds.
It still frequently hits us. About once a day it hits us.
Jonathan and Monique Einwechter say the pain of losing their 2 children is still fresh, and it was especially hard the first time they saw the pond where they desperately tried to save their children's lives.
Everything just hit me. I could hear the screams. I could hear my daughter crying you know, that she was going to drown, and I could see my baby's face.
It was very dark on the night of February 24th as Monique drove up this gravel road. Inside the SUV with her, her 4 children, 5-week-old Enoch, 1-year-old Titus, 2-year-old John David, and 3-year-old Elise.
I was following him, and I made it to the bend there, and all of a sudden it felt like the wheel was just jerked out of my hand, and next thing I knew we were on our side in the water.
Jonathan immediately jumped out of his truck. He and others on the farm ran down to the water.
The children all started screaming, and I just laid into the horn, and I kept trying to talk to them, and, you know, it's going to be okay, it's going to be all right, Daddy will be here shortly.
Monique was able to free Titus and pass him out the window to Jonathan, and Monique's brother managed to grab John David, but the SUV started to roll onto its top.
It's just a sense of denial of reality. You can't believe that this is really happening, that 2 of your children are still stuck in the car, you know, all the water. And I just kept thinking, you know, if I keep trying, maybe we can get them out.
In mere moments, Monique, Elise, and Enoch were underwater.
At that point, I was just reflective. It's like, you know, okay, I'm 24, and it's hard to believe this is all the chance that I get at life. It's over. And I just asked the Lord for peace, and at that point things just kind of fade out.
It was very helpless. Yeah, it's strange when you try to prioritize who you're going to save.
Monique was pulled from the water and revived on the bank. Elise and Enoch were airlifted to the hospital but didn't make it. They say in the midst of their great loss, they're still able to find comfort.
We just need to trust that this is how it was. There's 100 things we wish we would have done differently that night that could have avoided it, but you know, we see lots of good coming out of it, and we know the Lord did plan this, and that our 2 children, they're probably affecting more people in their short life than we will in our whole lifetime.
Now, Elise and Enoch were laid to rest in Pennsylvania. Coming up on Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6, Jonathan and Monique talk more about the precious memories of their children and how their strong Christian faith is helping them through the grief. Live in the studio, I'm Matt Barbour, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
A Chattanooga man says someone's been using a spy camera to secretly record people, even children, in public bathrooms.
The man says as soon as he found the recording device and discovered the footage, he turned it over to police. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Matt Barbour is live now with this First on 3 report. Matt?
Well, Cindy, the man says his friend found what he thought was an e-cigarette in the men's bathroom at the Chattanooga Billiard Club downtown, but upon further inspection, he realized it was some sort of hidden camera device. Out of curiosity, he plugged it into his computer and says he was deeply disturbed by the footage he found.
It could be happening anywhere, and this guy is still out there.
Josh Nealon says his friend didn't think much of this black pen when he found it in the men's bathroom last week at the Chattanooga Billiard Club downtown. But when he took a closer look, he realized it was a spy cam.
There's a tiny little lens on it, you know, you would never have suspected it.
As a web designer, Nealon was interested by the electronic device and out of curiosity plugged its memory card into his computer. He found multiple folders with multiple videos from different locations.
I opened one of them up and I knew exactly what it was right away, and it all clicked to me because my friend had said he had found it in the bathroom.
He discovered 5 to 6 30-minute clips from various public bathrooms.
In most of the shots, it was up and angled down towards either a urinal or a bathroom or a toilet.
And he says the most disturbing part, there were also children on the videos.
I immediately was disgusted once I saw that there was children and adults mixed in. I just knew I couldn't have it in my possession any longer. It's filthy, you know.
Nealon's called police and turned over the device. He says he's confident the creeping Tom will be caught because every video starts the exact same way.
It starts off with a young African-American male, maybe 20 to 30, somewhere around there, lightly bearded, you know, scruff and glasses and a short haircut. And at the start of each video, you can see him setting it up, perching it, positioning it.
Now I'm live here at the Chattanooga Police Precinct on East 11th Street. This is where Nealon's turned over that video recording device to detectives. Now Channel 3 has requested a still screen picture of the person accused of putting up that device so we can show you what that man looks like, but we have not heard back from police on that just yet. But they do say they are aware of this situation and are investigating. In the meantime, I talked with the manager over at the billiard club earlier this afternoon, who Nealon says is just as much as a victim of the folks who were caught on camera. She did not want to comment about this, only to say that she hopes police catch this man very soon. Reporting live in downtown Chattanooga tonight, I'm Matt Barbour, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.